I've always wanted to be a vlogger. Like, it's a confession. Yes, I've always wanted to be a vlogger, like a YouTube influencer, whatever. I watch vlogs on creatives, on artists. I watched this one girl's vlog. What's her name? What's up? I'm Leslie, and all month long, we are talking about origin stories of unlikely influencers and what that can teach us about our personal identity. Like, there are just so many vlogs already out there, like, and people are doing it way better than I could. Y'all, I tried to start a vlog when I was like, I'm not even gonna tell you how old I was. It was just awkward. Let's catch up with Bo as he helps us solve some of these self-perception issues. Also, pro tip, if you want it to hit different, you'll wanna stick around to the end for this one.
What do I have to offer? What do I have to offer? What am I here for? What is life? What is this really all about? These are questions that I have asked myself, and I know many of us have asked the very same question. And the important thing to know is that these are good questions. These are questions that we should seek after, we should run after in the pursuit of truth. And I actually heard it put really simply by one of our senior leaders in our church. His name's Sam Roberts, and he puts it this way. He says that you are less important than you think you are, but you are way more important than you think you are. You're less important than you think you are, but you are way more important than you think you are. And now that I just offended a couple of you, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Bo Brown. I am the youth pastor at our Life Church Albany, New York location. Shout out to my New Yorkers. That's right, love the pizza. I love the people. Actually, I don't know why I said love the pizza. I'm like lactose intolerant, but it is good pizza. But the people, I just love people in general, honestly. And one of my favorite things about people is like the connections that you get. Maybe seeing someone in an unlikely spot. Maybe it's at church or maybe it's out in the real world, you know, out in the community, at a concert or something. And just those connections you get whenever you see that person you know, when you lock eyes. You lock eyes and you're like, I know you, you know me, something is about to go down. Like the most epic handshake, secret handshake, fist bump, bro hug, whatever it is. Or for me, from a distance, I really love to wave. Like I just think it's a nice gesture. And so we just lock eyes. We're going in, and I go ahead and I go in for the big wave, like the what's up, good to see you, only to realize that they are not actually looking at me and they're not ready to wave at me. It's in those moments that I realize I'm less important than I think that I am. And because this happens somewhat frequently, unfortunately, I have perfected the playoff, okay? I have perfected, like, you know, the wave and then like the stretch, you know, the quick stretch, or like the wave and then like the, oh, I was just milli rocking, you know, just doing my thing, you know, or maybe it's the wave with the back scratch or fixing the shirt, whatever it is. I have perfected the playoff because it's pretty often that I realize I'm less important than I think I am. But then there's those moments where I realize I'm way more important than I think I am. Recently, I was at the grocery store. Speaking of which, I love grocery stores. I love clothes. I love shopping for clothes and shoes. But my favorite kind of shopping, grocery shopping. All the food, man, all the food. And my favorite spot is Trader Joe's. And so I was doing some grocery shopping, and I was kind of like on the bottom shelf, you know, probably reading the nutritional facts, trying to be healthy. My wife tells me I need to be healthy. So reading these things, and all of a sudden I see somebody kind of like creep up behind me, like tippy-toeing, and I'm like, I'm about to get jumped. It is game over. I'm gonna die in a grocery store. Like, this is not good. This is not how I played it out. And I turned around, and I realized it was one of our students, and she looked like she had seen a ghost, or she was afraid or something, and she was like, Pastor Bo? And I was like, hey, girl, what's up? And she was like, you're at the grocery store. You're not at church. I was like, yeah, girl, I go to the grocery store. I don't live at the church. And it was pretty crazy to realize, like, to her, how special it was to see me out in the community doing real life, knowing that I was actually a real person. I realized I was way more important than I thought I was in those moments. Speaking of Trader Joe's, I could talk about Trader Joe's all day. I listen to the podcast. It's so good. Check it out. I'm not endorsing it. I don't know why I'm talking about it still. But anyways, it is, I learned a ton. It actually started out as a convenience store. It was called Pronto Markets, and it was all based on efficiency. Like, how can you get people in the door and out the door as quickly as possible? Until this guy by the name of Joe Colombe saw a need in the world. He was like, people don't want efficiency. They want relationships. They want community. They want to have a personal touch point with people. And so he bought Pronto Markets and changed it into what it is today, Trader Joe's. One of the things I love about it is in the middle of winter, when you walk in and you see a Hawaiian shirt, it just makes you feel a little warm inside, makes me feel a little bit better. But just the relationships that you build. My guy that I have, and I go in there to see him every single week, his name's Bill. He bags my stuff so good. Like, he's got the freezer bag, he's got the veggie bag, he's got the boxes in the can bag. Like, I'm like, Bill, you're a pro, dog. He's telling me about all these concerts and stuff he's going to. I have a real relationship with Bill. But what's also incredible is they don't just meet needs in relationships that we have with people. They meet needs in the world. Because last year they gave away over $350 million worth of food, and that equates to about 60 million meals to combat hunger. And what I think and what I see about all that is if a grocery store is able to make that big of a difference in the world, how much more can a group of students, a church, people surrounded by the hope and the love of the world make in this world? We have something to offer. We have something to offer to the world. Back to that question, what do I have to offer? These questions that I said earlier, what do I have to offer? What is this life really all about? They all really revolve around our identity. Because when we know who we are, we know what we can offer. When we know who we are, we know what we can bring to this world. We know what we have inside of us. We know who we can be and who God's called us to be. We're able to step into opportunities to influence people and to love them and to live a life on social media that people really see who you really are. Or maybe it's stepping into leadership in your school or in wherever you are. You step into those opportunities and you also realize how many people truly love you, how many people truly care about you, and how many people truly desire the best for you. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's your switch leader, but that you realize how many people love you. And I think it's important that we all realize how much God truly loves us, how much bigger our plan and our purpose is than we could ever imagine because of his love for us. But I think oftentimes we allow the circumstances in our lives to affect what we feel like God cares about us. Maybe it's a situation you have. Maybe it's you and your family are going through a hard divorce right now. Maybe you're so insecure that when you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see. Maybe you come from a great family, but there's so much pressure to live up to other people's standards that it's crushing you, and you feel like you really could never live up to those standards. But what's incredible to realize is that Jesus, God on earth, also had some pretty big obstacles that he had to overcome. See, because people in the world, they had this perception of who God on earth was supposed to be. He's going to be this big-time ruler who's come in, gather all the Jews, king of the world, probably good-looking, probably tall, dark, and handsome, all the things that we thought. They even thought they knew where he would come from, but God had different plans. God had different plans for what the Savior of the world would do and look like. And this is what it says in John 1:45 and 46. It goes like this. It says, Philip went to look for Nathanael and told him, we have found the very person Moses and the prophets wrote about. His name is Jesus, the son of Joseph from Nazareth. Nazareth, exclaimed Nathanael, can anything good come from Nazareth? Philip replied, come and see for yourself. I love this. Come and see for yourself. It is a challenge. It is an opportunity to come and see for yourself what God can do through you. Because the last time that I checked, God says that you are loved. He says that you are called. He says that you are equipped. He says that he has given you experiences that no one else has. He has given you gifts that are ready to be given, strengths that are ready to be flexed. He has given you the love that every single person on this earth really needs. But the truth is, on our own, we're less important than we think we are. But with God, we are way more important than we think we are. On our own, we're less important than we think you are. But with God, you're way more important than you think you are. In Luke 9:23 and 24, it says this. It says, then he said to the crowd, if any of you wants to be my follower, you must give up your own way. Take up your cross daily and follow me. If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it. See, it's when we give up our life that we find our true purpose. It's when we give up our life that we find God's true love. But it's when we do things on our own that we separate ourselves from him and the purpose that he has for us. I'm honestly humbled and honored to talk to you guys about this question of what do I have to offer, because it's something that has rattled me my entire life. Didn't grow up in church, was never part of my life really, and there was a circumstance in my life that I was always labeled as, and just was a hardship that I had to overcome. If we were to meet and go get coffee or Chick-fil-A or something, you would hear that I actually have a stutter. I have stutter over a couple words per sentence probably, and it's crazy to just think how many times I didn't step into opportunities to truly love people, and how many times I didn't step in to truly care for people because I didn't think I had anything to offer. I didn't think I had what it took. God, how can you use a guy who can't even really speak that well to make a difference in people's lives? I always viewed it as an insecurity or as a weakness or a problem that needed to be solved. But what I realized is that I just had to put one foot in front of the other and be obedient with today, and to be obedient with what God had placed in front of me, to love people no matter what was going on in my life, because I knew that's what he had called me to do. And today, as I stand on stage with a microphone and get to speak to you guys, I'm honored and humbled. And if God can use a guy with a stutter to speak to you, then think how much more he can use you to impact the world. Because now I don't look at my stutter as a weakness. I look at it as a strength. I don't look at it as a disability. I look at it as a God-given ability. And I look at it as an opportunity to solve a problem, to help people, and to love people. And every single one of us, we have something in our life that we have felt like it has questioned us, it has shaken us to where we don't think that we have something to offer. But I'm here to tell you that God didn't give up his life for nothing. He didn't give up his life so that you could walk through life. He gave up his life so you could bring something to the world, and that is his love and his grace. Because, like I hope you've learned, and I hope we all can learn, is that on our own, we're less important than we think we are, but we have so much more to offer if we give up our life because of what he has done for us.
So where are you holding back because you think you don't have enough to offer? Remember, with Jesus, you have more than you think you have to offer. People don't want efficiency, they want relationship, and that requires you showing up and offering of yourself. I hope you feel encouraged and challenged to fight the lie that you have nothing to offer. Have a good week.